you don't really know what's going to happen.
We want to make sure that everyone can be chasing that American dream.
Sometimes the only way to succeed is just to not give up. Now they know the other side.
All right, let's fucking do this, dude.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
This is our first episode now where we're no longer Northwest Premier.
Yeah, man. How does it feel?
I still call it Northwest Premier. Fucking, I still pick up the phone. I'm like, or whatever. I'm like, hey, it's like Northwest Premier, whatever. So yeah, when I'm joking around, I'm like, hey, it's Mike Ross, Northwest Premier. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
real accounting.
I don't think I've made that mistake yet, but I also don't think I say our name very often.
That's fair. Have you changed your voicemail yet?
No.
You made me change mine, so you should change yours.
I don't even remember what mine says. Let's see what my voicemail says.
I bet you don't even say anything about Northwest Premier.
Probably
don't. Like, this is Nathan Ganz. Please don't leave a voicemail.
I think the last time I had this, somebody mocked me, and so I don't know what this says. I've not checked this in a long time. But one of my buddies mocked me several months ago, being like, his voicemail was like, "Hi, I'm Nathan. I'm so important. I'll never answer your calls, and you have to call any of these 14 other numbers, and maybe you can get a hold of me." So apparently that's what it sounds like. So let's just see what it says. Can I play it?
Hey, thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it. Feel free to leave a message, but for a faster response, please send me a text message. I check those much more regularly. If this is for business, I honestly don't check this voicemail. Please call our main line to get a hold of me. That is at 971-901-04. Or just feel free to send me a text message and I'll get it that way. Thank you very much. Bye.
I don't even say the name of our company in there.
Hey, I didn't say the name of our company, yeah.
I don't have to change anything. I don't know
did-
why I unplugged that. I could have just done it from this before.
Yeah.
It would have sounded way better.
I definitely did change mine
Hey,
to now
thank
where.
you so much for calling. I really appreciate
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Feel free to leave a message.
Anyways, you guys
But
get
for-
the point.
Yeah, no, I changed mine now. So now mine says something similar, but it says, hey, reach Mike Ross from Real Accounting. Please feel free to leave me a message with your number and I'll give you a call back, or you can shoot me a text for a faster response. If this is about scheduling, please please call our main line at 971-901-0443 because I don't want to deal with any scheduling. Like if you want to schedule, get on my calendar, talk to my assistant, and that's how it happens.
That's probably one of my least favorite tasks. Scheduling meetings.
Well, I've dropped the ball plenty of times where I'm like, oh, I'll just do it. I'll just do it myself, and then I drop the ball multiple times by saying I'll get my calendar, and I go to look at my calendar, and then I get a text or an email or a call, and I forget, and then I never schedule it. So it's just easier that way.
Dude. Man, it's been kind of fun to just kind of get some of these podcasts out there and have some people see it. It's on Spotify and on YouTube, and it's been kind of just fun to see people actually enjoying it. And I get some feedback, and people are always tempered. It's the stuff you don't hear that's more interesting, I think, than what you do hear sometimes.
That's fair. Yeah, it's very fair.
I'm really looking forward to people hearing the guests that we've had on, because at this point when we're recording this, we haven't launched those podcasts yet. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how people respond to some.
They've only seen the ones that we talk.
Yeah, only the ones where we've talked.
Yeah.
And so I think they're gonna start seeing that this weekend with some of the guests. And so
that'd be cool.
I'm fascinated to see how they respond.
Yeah, I think that's
we've
what
had
makes
some great
podcasts,
conversations, man.
Yeah, that's what makes podcasts. Though I think people like to listen to other people's perspectives and stuff once they get a feel for who we are.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it good. But again, we're gonna be. I guess Northwest Premier really had nothing to do with the podcast. It's just you and me. So I guess Real Accounting doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't matter for shit.
But we should be talking about that, though. I think today's episode, we'd like to talk about the joys and the pleasantries of the behind the scenes of running an event.
Yeah.
For the public.
Yeah. Yeah. So we do. Historically, this was our 4th year in a row we did Preparing for Profit. Yep. It was really just the origin of Preparing for Profit was actually a 3-hour CE class. Remember?
Yeah.
And so we wrote out the 3 hours of CE. We got approved for it, and so it was a 3-hour class, and it was a little tactical, a little tedious. It was. I mean, the information was good, but I think it was pretty challenging when we got into the numbers portions for the agents. It wasn't very clear.
Yeah, a lot of the feedback we got was eyes glazed over when the numbers came out, which is typical, which is why we
that's why. Firm. Yeah, that's why we have a job.
Yeah,
because agents
hate numbers.
The only numbers they like is they can figure out 2.5% of anything.
Yeah,
dude, the agent knows they can figure out 2.5 to 3% of any number you give them. Facts. In their head. Other than that,
it's ends in zeros in their bank account. And that's pretty much what they remember. Yeah, or their credit limits. The credit
That's
limits.
actually really funny, man. Oh yeah. So it started out as a 3-hour CE class. We did it. Did we do the CE for 2 years?
We did, but then we realized that we're doing the same shit. It's the same material each time with different speakers.
Yeah.
And that was the problem with doing CE classes. It had to be, it had to meet a certain criteria, and then it had to pass through whatever state board and stuff like that. So we didn't have a lot of flexibility to make it as creative as we'd like to, other than switching up the guest speakers. So after the second year, that's why we wanted to be like, all right, this year, no more CE. Let's fucking do it how we want to do it. Let's get the speakers in we want to do it or bring in, and then let's make this bigger than last year and just start doing it, not necessarily for the CE credits, but for the value that the real estate agents like, which is the presentation in itself and the guest speakers.
Yeah. It was interesting last year because the first 2 years I think we were really just doing it as like a kind of just a benefit and event. It was really more of a real business planning class. You know,
Yes.
it was that's really what it was. And then it kind of turned into, I remember the conversation when we transitioned, the purpose of it was you and I sat down and we were like, okay, if we're going to put all this effort and energy into a class, what would be the most helpful thing we could do for the real estate agents in our area?
Yep.
That was the sum. And we were just like, well, it's not the 3 hours of CE because we found out they don't really give a shit about CE anyways.
Yeah. Majority of the agents are like, well, we didn't care about the CE because we just do all of our 24 hours of CE like 10 days before or 2 days before the fucking thing. You can buy this like packet online for like $30 that'll you can just
Their
knock it out.
assistant's
And,
doing it anyway.
yeah. So no one cared
Let's
about
just not lie.
Yeah, that no one cared about the CE credits, which to be fair, I mean, I don't think anybody who has to do CE credits really is like, you know what? I'm excited to learn everything I need to learn about the updates and anything new that I've been doing for the last fucking forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice bonus to the class, but it wasn't as much of a driving motivator as we thought it
Didn't
would
carry
be.
as much weight.
So we brought in some really cool stuff. We brought in a panel that year. We had Amy Acevedo, we had Dave Walsh, and we had Terry Sprague. Three just monsters in the industry.
Yep.
You know, Dave's a VP at Compass, which is the largest producing agency in the entire nation.
Yep.
You've got Terry Sprague, who's running the Ritz downtown Portland,
yeah, the
Oregon.
solo agent for the
yeah, and then
Ritz.
you got Amy Acevedo, who's run consistently the biggest and most profitable, or one of the biggest and one of the most profitable teams in our entire city. And so they came in and they did such a great job of communicating, you know, answering questions and Q&A. We had Dave Walsh do the keynote, which was amazing because
Yeah, he killed it, dude. He brought
That
in
guy.
He's was phenomenal. He brought in numbers, graphs, data, presentation, was entertaining, energetic. Like he knew his shit, dude.
he
You
knew
could
his
just-
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think that's one of the best presentations I've ever seen on the history of the real estate industry.
Yes.
Because he was talking about the NAR settlement, right?
Yeah.
And so agents were freaking out. And I remember one of his first slides, one of the first things he talks about was like the 20 major catastrophic changes that he's gone through
Yeah.
as an agent. And he's like, and we got through every single one of them. And he's like, and this is going to be no different. And the piece that he brought and the leadership that he brought to our community just from giving perspective was so valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, he did it in a very educational way and his way of, you know, camaraderie and leadership, like he said.
It was awesome.
Which is really cool. It's all about tone of voice and how you handle things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he handles, I mean, the amount of knowledge that guy has and to still be that humble is really impressive.
Yeah, no, he was great.
He's very, just a wonderful person. I
He
would
dressed
gladly
the part and
gladly have
everything.
him.
Yeah, all suited up and stuff. Like,
he
was
did
ready
dress
to
the
roll.
part.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
ready to roll.
I would gladly have Dave back any day.
Dave, if you're listening to this, we'd love to have you back here.
Yeah, buddy.
We'll tag you in it so we make sure you listen to
Yeah,
it.
and we're going to
this
send it to you
exact-
18 times.
and we're going to tag you
Like-
exact minute we were doing this.
Listen to our shit, goddammit.
Yep. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, no. Then this year we first we did it in some one of our connections offices, right? It was like Fairway Mortgage
Yeah,
or something like
that's
that. We did their
right.
office, and then
Shout out to Jason Presser.
yeah, thank you, Jason. And then what was it? Did we do?
We did it in the next time we did it in the
Hurley Building.
Hurley building.
Yeah, then we did the Hurley Building,
Which has like the best view in the city though,
that was nice, but no parking.
but no parking.
No parking. That was rough.
Yeah.
So we did that in the
Come on,
Hurley
Ryan.
Building. Yeah. We did it in the Hurley Building. Then our last year we did it in the AC Hotel,
Same
which
as
is
this
a
year, yeah.
beautiful, beautiful place.
Gosh, it is so nice.
Yeah, they really did it well with all the Christmas trees lit up and the
Yeah.
themes and just the ambiance of the whole place with the waterfront view and
Yeah.
everything. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, for those who are like don't know our area and are listening, our waterfront has a multi-billion-dollar development going on over the last 2 years and continuing on probably for the next 7 or 8.
Yeah.
This just we used to have this bare waterfront in Vancouver. It's just the best land in the city, and nothing was built on it. It was just insane. And then I think the last numbers I saw was that the current half is at a $1.3 billion development, and they're not even done yet. They still got a couple buildings to go, and then they're clearing out the other side of the bridge, which is be another like $1.5 billion redevelopment. And so this hotel that we did the event at is literally one of those brand new hotels right on the waterfront, and it is. They honestly do a great job. They took good care of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
they're
great.
expensive as fuck, but they take good care of you.
Hey, they gave us a valet parking this year. So that was
yeah,
nice.
dude. Yeah, exactly.
Not valet park, validated
yeah,
parking.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which
last
is
year-
more important to you.
Yeah.
You're like, just give me my money.
Yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
people were, last year they asked it, like, they didn't do it for us. This year they did. So that was very nice. of them.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, so I think last year was a big jump in how we did that class. I was really frustrated in how it went. Like, I remember having
Nathan's a perfectionist, if you didn't know that.
man.
He has to have things absolutely flawless in order for him to be happy.
Even then,
Even then, you'll find a way to critique it.
something else is gonna happen.
But you need that, and you need that side on your team. So regardless, we appreciate it.
Everybody who was a part of it thought it was great, except for me, and I hated it. I thought it was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I really,
Even the general public said it was fucking awesome, and you're like,
and I was like, yeah, but
you guys
I don't care. Again,
you
I don't care
guys
what they
like
think.
shit.
I was like, yeah, you guys. I was like, yeah, you guys just like a bunch of shit.
Yeah. So
I was like, just because you don't know what's good doesn't mean it's your approval is not the somebody else's approval is not the indicator whether something was good or not.
yeah.
I mean, you got to have a certain standard. I thought it was. I other than Dave's speech, I thought that we could have done so much better.
Well, let's get into it. So what from their perspective, from outside perspective, people just came to this event. They
Yeah.
came from. They knew about it. They showed up when they showed up. They enjoyed every second of it, and then they left, and that was all they saw. Mm-hmm. They saw some of the paid ads. They saw some of the videos that we put out. Mm-hmm. They saw the flyers, and they heard about it.
Yeah.
But they didn't understand that we started planning for that 6 months, more than that, 8 months before the event even happened.
Well, yeah, we had to pick a time and place. We had to get the hotel stuff.
Yeah, but we met for like the last 8 months, at least once a month.
For Pete, the one in the AC, the first one in the AC hotel.
No, this one.
Oh yeah, you're sorry. I
That's
thought you were
because
talking
we
about.
learned.
I thought you were talking about last year still.
No, because you were so unhappy with it. We decided
Yeah,
to do it way
exactly.
differently. So the first time we were like, you had to realize, like, like we just said, the first two we had maybe like 30 agents in the room. The first couple times we did it at one of our buddies' conference rooms,
Right.
and it wasn't that difficult to plan. We have our presentations. We show up.
We
And,
printed out some pamphlets and some notes.
yeah, and then we went up there and did presentations, and that was it. We brought in some live music.
We did. That's exactly right, dude.
What?
We brought in Daniel
Oh, yeah.
to come in and he did like a big sing along with like Christmas music and stuff. It was hilarious.
Yeah, he was great. I think it was.
I think one of the people said, "Oh, that was really cool when you had that worship leader guy up there."
Yeah, it really did sound like it. God, your whole family sounds like it, but it's okay. It's nice. It's a soothing melody. We need that.
It's very Coldplay.
It is very Coldplay-ish. But it was good. But the point is, I think it ran us like a couple of $100 or maybe a couple thousand max for food and
I don't even think so.
if that. So we were used to just doing something super simple. It's pretty simple. Here it is. It doesn't cost a lot of money. We've done classes before. We're like, it's a class. It's an elevated class. And then our third year, we did a little more. We went to the Hurley building, like you mentioned, and we had an assistant now. Right before we didn't have Jess.
Second year we went to the Hurley building.
Oh, that's what I meant. Second year we didn't, but the first year we didn't have Jess. We just kind of had some volunteers that we asked to help and check in and stuff. And our check-in was like a freaking plastic table with with like a
Brian Ross, shout out Details Home Inspections, was bringing mimosas and literally brought red Solo cups.
Yeah, that was our first.
He had a cardboard, not a cardboard, but like a like what do you call those? Like a big poster board, and he wrote like his Details Home Inspection on it and taped it to the table and had it hanging off, and then had stacks of red Solo cups.
God, we've come
Shout
far.
out Brian, bro.
Yeah,
nice job, bro.
We've come a long
We've
way.
come
All of
a
us.
long way since the red Solo cup mimosas.
Yeah.
Dude, that was hilarious.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that was what we were producing in our first year. And then we went up to the Hurley building,
man.
and it was a little more. We had a little more help. We had an assistant at the time, so
That was so much
they
helpful.
took care of it. We pre-planned it maybe a couple months in advance, and we're like, all right, this is where we're gonna do it. We had like, I don't even think we had sponsors, did we? We did. We had Happy Planet and a couple. We had
that's
we had about like
right.
3 or maybe 4 sponsors or
Yes,
so
we did.
to help out. But it was, even then it wasn't that. It wasn't as big as we thought it was going to be, but it still was something different than last time. And then we went all out last year, and we went all out and decided to do the AC Hotel, where we needed like more of a sound. It wasn't just plug into a computer, put it on the screen, and do a PowerPoint click
totally
presentation.
different
We had like a
experience.
sound experience. We had a soundboard. We had microphones. We had to get there and set up earlier. It was a bigger space. We had more seats to fill, and we wanted to feel it more like an actual event. And then we had guest speakers coming with like on the stage with the setup.
Right.
It was just a lot. There's a lot more room, a lot more people, a lot more
And
equipment,
a lot more expensive.
and a lot expensive. So we had a lot more on the line, right? So
Yeah.
and we just had this image of what we wanted. So it was our first time really going all out. And then that was, I think, why it was it exposed a lot. It's like a stress test.
Yeah.
It was a stress test for a bar. It's like, hey, you're used to running a bar with 10 people in here, and now we're going to fill the room with what it should be, whereas 100 people are showing up at
Let's
the
see
same
how you
time.
do.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It was our own stress test that we did to ourselves. That's the best way I can describe it. We did a stress test to ourselves on if we want to host an event and get to where we eventually see ourselves, we're going to do it first and just go head first in the fucking deep end. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did, which is why Nathan got so mad.
Oh man, I remember wanting to have meetings about this on a regular basis, and everyone's like, "Oh no, we're good. We got everything." I'm like, okay. And I didn't push probably as much as I should have, but man, I mean, we pulled it off, and I think people enjoyed it. But I mean, ultimately, I was like, yeah, but we did all this stuff, and we didn't get a single new client. And we probably lost on that one last year. I think we probably lost $2,000.
Probably, yeah, because our sponsors and everything, yeah.
Yeah, we were in the hole probably $2,000 for that event last
Well, we
year.
looked at it differently. I looked at it. We did a $2,000 marketing event that we just fucking crushed, and everyone's gonna be like, "Wow, that was great!" And Northwest Mirror is fucking awesome.
And I look at it and go, we lost money.
Yeah. So you
that
look
doesn't
at
include, that doesn't include payroll. That doesn't include the time we spent on it. Like
it's
that doesn't
like
include any of that
forget
stuff.
about
That's just pure cash. Like I think we were at least $2,000 in the hole. And it's really taxing on the business, man. Like changing our focus from sales, bookkeeping, accounting, tax services to. I mean, we're not an event planning company. Like we do one big event a year, and it's a big. Like you said, it's like a little bit of a stress test on our entire structure and also our employees.
But that's what we learned. So if you're going to throw an event, this is what we learned, and I want you guys to take away from it. Basically, just like Nathan and I have done our entire company, we have molded positions, we have changed directions, we have pivoted many a time. So when we hosted this event, we're like, we are capable of doing it, but we're not designed to do it.
Yeah.
So you wanted to fix the plumbing, and you brought a bunch of electricians to come in or a bunch of caterers to come in and try and fix the plumbing. So we put icing on it and hoped it would mold and stick, and then no water would leak, and there's still leaky water, and we wonder why.
We were like, no way.
You can't just take the big old like duct tape and just slam it on, and make it work.
Like the
that commercial.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The big glass thing just.
and everything's good. Yeah, we tried that. It didn't work. So you need to actually hire professionals to do the job if you want to get to the level you want to be at. So we learned a lot. Again, like we learned we need a sound person, and we learned that we need to like rehearse it like many times before. We need to like check the mic
Like
sounding.
actual run throughs, like live fire run throughs.
Yeah.
Like every single detail has to be planned out before the event. It has to be run through several times before the event.
Yep.
We're kind of crazy though. Like I know I'm an insane person. I literally, we hand pick every single song.
Yep.
We hand select every single graphic. We do every single thing that we do is completely designed to create an environment that will hopefully breed the best possible outcome.
Yep.
So like even from walk-up music to what's the music when they're journaling to what's the music when, like what's happening in the videos, what's the music in the videos, what's the lighting gonna be, like we actually go through every single part of that, because I think in order to create something that's really excellent, it requires that level of detail.
Yeah. You wanted to bring an immersion in that room as opposed to just throwing something on the screen. So we wanted, like you said, he wanted an experience people to feel like they're immersed in this whole event, and like cancel the outside noise for a minute for the first or for the 4 hours that they're there, and just fucking learn, focus, and strategize, succeed, and scale, or whatever, whatever it was. It was.
And and honestly, this year, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really good. I really did. I don't have a lot to complain about with them. There's a few little things that I would definitely change, or things that I would like to see differently, because that's just who I am.
Yeah, but see, that's not what we
But
want.
I was satisfied with it. Totally, that's good.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
What?
I don't know. It's like you need. I
You think
like
it was better than that?
I feel like we have to do one more now, just because of that. Only for my own satisfaction. Just because I want you to say,
I don't want to
dude,
do
we
another one.
fucking crushed it. I want you to say, we fucking crushed it. This is why you need to go to those that freaking at the
gratitude class.
gratitude classes, so you learn to just fucking appreciate some hard work, dude.
That's what it was. It was
God.
appreciation.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. I mean,
Like at the end of it, like let's fucking go, dude. We crushed it, and you're like, yeah, that's pretty good. Like, God,
It was good.
Suck the joy out of it.
no, it was good. I don't understand what's wrong with that.
I thought it was fucking great. Like, bro,
Okay.
everything about that thing was fucking cool. In my
Yeah,
head.
it's like with my girlfriend the other day. She got an opportunity to go travel out of state for work. I was like, oh, well, would you like to come? And she was like, yeah, whatever. I was like, okay, cool. I'll just stay home.
Yeah, that's me.
She's
I'm
like,
your girlfriend.
No, I was
No.
like, I've done like. She's like, I don't care if you come or don't come. I was like, well, then I'm definitely not going.
Yeah, if you want it. And I'm
Yeah, I
like,
wanna
dude,
be
I
wanted.
want you to fucking just like, gives me joy when you're like,
Mike,
we fucking crushed it.
you did a fucking great job.
Thank you, but I want you to be like, we fucking crushed that as a team.
But you did.
I
You
want
did
you to
fucking
do
crush
like a fucking anchorman jumping and still. We did it. If I don't get that answer from you, we gotta
It's
do
not
another
good
one.
enough.
No, we're gonna do one more. We're doing our final goodbye tour,
Dude.
and we're gonna make the whole thing.
I think I'm done with it.
Then we're gonna say this is for Nathan.
Okay, I'll tell you why I think I'm done with it, because this is a weird thing, because by all accounts, it was a very successful event.
Yeah.
Okay?
There we go.
It was attended well.
Yep.
The attendees were the right types of people.
Yep.
Most of the vendors showed up, but the vendors that did show up were excellent,
They
were
did crush
really
it.
helpful, and they
Great.
did a really good job. The speakers did a good job. I
Yes.
would say, yeah, we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
And most importantly, from my perspective, was we showed enough value that people wanted to engage with us on like a business level.
Yeah.
And that to me was really like the hope. It's not just to provide value, but also I want to help these people. Like I want to help execute all this stuff.
And we did.
And we did a really, really good job with that. We had almost, I think, a third of the attendees schedule a meeting with us.
Yeah.
Which I think is, to me, that is a huge success.
There we go.
You happy with that?
I'm happy
That
with
is a huge success. I'm very happy with
There
it.
we go. I wanted a word better than satisfied or mid or
I'm,
average or okay.
I'm very happy with the result. I think the event still had a lot of room for improvement.
I'll ignore that last part, and I'm going to remember it. It was
That's
a great
just me.
event.
It was.
Yeah. Well, we did. I mean, we had our rebrand. We had the we had our tax.
Dude,
our,
I mean,
the
let's
EA
just
came
start
out.
there.
Yeah.
The rebrand that we did
Oh, that was- yeah.
the worst. I don't know
The
how
video was fucking awesome, though.
for being done the night before.
You know, how dare our videographer not fucking make a beautiful masterpiece
This
when we
is-
give
this
him
is how
an
fuck-
hour before the event? How dare you?
He's literally editing to the moment the event starts.
Dude, he
Okay,
was-
this is how fucked up we are sometimes. Probably the most important information in the entire event was the rebrand.
Yep. That was the whole
And
part.
what did we spend the least amount of time on?
The rebrand.
Dude, we totally fucked that up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You can't call it a great event. Like there were great things from it, but like we totally flubbed that.
You're right.
It was horrible.
But the video, though, the video was pretty dope.
Thank you,
dude.
David.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Thank you, David. We appreciate you very much.
He's like, I can cancel the podcast right now and
He's
go
like,
home.
we can just hit pause.
Yeah. He's like,
Forever.
guess what? I didn't record any of this. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
assholes. No, but for real though, like
Yeah.
think about that. We didn't prioritize well at all.
No.
Well, part of the reason we didn't prioritize, and part of the reason why I don't want to do this again or this event again, was we had. This is just saying because this is the other side, right? We had a horrendous time trying to get people to get there, to get people to buy tickets. To
Yeah,
go.
you don't see the value in our fucking events sometimes until you're there.
It's crazy. And then once everybody's there, they're like, dude, I would have paid 10 times this for what the event was. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Like, we put on really good stuff. We have great things to say. We bring in really good people that are going to actually help you.
Yeah.
And, like, we're charging $100 or whatever it is. And people are like, nah, can't do it. I'm like, God damn it. And then it's also like, it's, you know, the time of the year. It's in December. I know it's challenging. But, like, there's so many things that we are messing with and trying to figure out. And I'm just like, dude, to like the day before, we were just like, are we gonna have enough people? Like, this is gonna be weird. Like the Monday before the Thursday event, we had 29. I think it was 27 people. It was 27 people, wasn't it, or 29?
Something like that.
27 people signed up.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
but we pulled it off. We always do.
bro, I was losing my mind.
It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that hard.
I'm like, dude, we're gonna lose like $5,000 on this thing. Like, here's what happened though, because other people have
no
run
faith in his business partner.
Yeah, and like other people have run events in our city, like big events, and they didn't charge shit for it. And so now people have this idea. They're like, oh, well, I can go see these amazing speakers and all this stuff and have these huge days for half the price that you're charging me. I'm like, yeah, but did you know that they didn't do well on that event, guys. Yeah. And like, I can't afford that. You can't afford that. We can't afford that. It's like, I can't go in the hole like that much money. Yeah. Like, we price it because we're not trying to make any money on this in terms of like the actual event. Our goal is to break even. Yes. That's it. And so like, we're messing with the pricing. People aren't signing up. We're literally changing the pricing.
We had 4,000 views on our event link, and we had
never had that many
tickets sold.
There was a time when we had over 2,500 views on our Eventbrite, and we had 19 tickets sold. Yeah. And I was like, this is the worst ratio I have ever seen, and I don't think we've ever gotten 2,500 people to an Eventbrite page.
No, we did a great job marketing it, but we didn't do it was the price or the people just didn't know who the people were. And I think that's kind of it too. Like, I mean, again, most people will pay, what?
Water?
Oh, I didn't tell me to stop. Most people will pay to see, you know, like when Ryan Serhan came to town or whatever. Like, oh, everyone fucking knows that guy, so they're like, all right, we'll pay whatever. But unless they're that big, most people won't do the research on it, or just know if they don't know right off the bat, they just won't buy it. So we're like, okay, well. Again, we learned if we were to do it again next year, chances are very low. I think we're gonna do it next year. But if you were to do an event next year, I would spend more time on, or for us, we wouldn't call it a business planning class because everyone and their mom goes to a business planning class in December. Every brokerage in the fucking world is doing, hey, come to our vision board and come get your magazines and cut them up and put them on.
John loves those.
I know. Shout out to John's Story.
If there anybody who really loves that kind of vision boards, it's John's Story.
Yeah. So
he'll do clip art with you. Anytime.
Get the bridal magazines, cut them out. So he's like working on your fourth marriage. Yeah, all that. Just kidding. Not John, just anyone in general. No. Anyway, but it's, we wouldn't call it a business planning event.
John's too ugly to get divorced, dude. He got no chance.
No. But no, we have I would say that like, we wouldn't call it a business planning event just because everyone assumes a business planning event's about numbers and that kind of stuff. And it's just not, it's not what it was anymore. It was like, it's an actual event. After the second year, we decided not to call it a class anymore either. I remember that because we're like, everyone's like, oh, you guys, I've been to your classes before. I've been to this class. I want to go learn something. I was like, okay, so we changed it to event. And then we said it's a business planning event. This year, we said it's a business planning event. People are like, oh, I've already been to business planning event. I don't really do it. We know the market's hard. We know that 75% of the agents haven't really closed more than 10 deals max a year. Yeah. We understand that it's just a harder time, but it was not a business planning event. It was more of a, I don't know, it's just a full-on convention, like an event aspect of this, not business planning. I don't really know how to explain it. So we got to figure a better way to explain it next year if we did do it. But
yeah, because we talked about so many different things. It's like, it's hard to categorize it. Like I spoke on values and priorities and like how to get realigned. And the analogy was essentially that as an industry, we've just been in like an absolute 2-year pileup on the freeway. And like it's time to like get unstuck and like get back to healthy and get adjusted and like get back in alignment with what's really important and valuable. And then you've got Lika who came on there and talked about how she has turned an Instagram ad where she went to go learn how to flip houses from an Instagram ad. So she signed up for one of those things that you and I would just scroll through immediately. Yeah. She actually goes and then she does that. 10 years later, she has flipped over $100 million in real estate. Yeah. Like it's crazy. So she came and talked about what she did. And man, she had some incredible ideas. I think one of the challenging things for Lika is that she has this opportunity to just absolutely take command of a room. And sometimes she just shies back.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I wish she would just step up and just like be a little bit more bold and a little more confident, a little more sure of herself, because the stuff that she had to say is world fucking class. But sometimes she just gets a little not intimidated. She gets timid
Yeah.
and doesn't like really control the room. But man, she has an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
But the information was amazing. And then he got John Story, who's the exact fucking like opposite, who's just like coming and like he's like I'm the big boy on campus right away. You know, you walk up, he punches you in the nose just to let you know.
Yeah.
And like he'll just say the craziest shit.
Yeah.
For those people who listen to the most recent podcast, you know that.
Yep. So we had 3 different styles. We had the preacher, we had the
The nun?
yeah, the nun, and then we had
The devil.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. Yeah, we had them all. It was interesting, but
man.
it was. You're right. It's
You
hard
guys
to
are awesome.
It's hard to classify the event like that, like what it actually
What would
is.
you call it?
I don't even
Like,
know.
what would you like if you were doing it again? What would you brand it as?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's just an event. I just don't know how to explain the event because there's no real one category.
What would you say, David?
Yeah, David.
Yeah.
I'd market to realtors. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Well,
but
no
what would
shit.
well, no shit, dude. But like, what would you call? Like, it's not like a business planning event. Business mastery, inspirational.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Inspirational.
I don't know what to call it.
But either way, it was a lot of work.
Church camp.
Yeah. No.
No,
No. Yeah, you can't say that because John's there. So
I'm there too.
yeah, that's fair. No,
All
I don't.
right.
I don't know. It was hard, but we're probably. I'm saying behind the scenes to wrap that part up at least and continue talking. But like it was a lot of fucking work. We took a lot of our staff away from their daily jobs to focus on this. We went down from picking like the freaking decorations to the centerpieces to the music to the freaking exactly what we're gonna say to the T to every minute of who's gonna be on stage, who's not. We had timers, 5-minute like countdown to 5-minute timers. We had break times. Like everything was scheduled, planned way in advance. We went over rehearsals. We made the different PowerPoints. Brought in a camera guy, a tech guy. Had staff to help out with the VIP tables.
Volunteers.
Like volunteers everywhere. We had a volunteer meeting beforehand. We had babysitters for our client or our friggin' for our employees that came in. We flew employees out. You know, we had to get on we had to book the hotel rooms for our guests. We had to make sure that was all taken care of. We wanted to give them gift baskets and stuff and thank you presents for coming down. Like there's a lot of fucking work that went into this. So you guys all got to enjoy this badass event that we hosted, but it's so much work behind the scenes that I think, like Nathan said, it's a cost.
I don't know that it's worth it.
Yeah, and every year we did have something big, right? We had like the first couple of years it was a class, then we did the book.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we had the
That guy over there.
the financial blueprint for real estate agents. We wrote a fucking book. That was cool. So that was
Yeah.
a good.
That launch was a big deal.
Yeah, so that was a big thing.
That
for
was
us.
a really big deal.
So we had that, and then this year we did the big rebrand. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like next year. It's like it'd be more for. It'd be all this work for almost not for nothing because we do bring value, but it's like unless there's something crazy that happened to us. Like, I think you're right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If you just think about like the amount of time, effort, energy, just the brain space,
Yeah.
and like you just keep doing that in the business, it's like, man, I
Yeah, because I took away. You have a
I don't
week
know.
of sales. To your point, we had 27 people signed up a week before the class. So all I'm thinking for the next week before the actual event happens, I'm like, okay, we had 27 people signed up. We have a week before the event. We want to fill the room. I got to sell 50 more tickets. I had to put all my sales away, all the sales from the backlash. Anybody who texts me is like, hey, I want to know about booking. I'm like, next week. And then next week's Christmas. Or we had this week and then it's pretty much Christmas. So it just didn't work out well. So we pushed a lot of people off and to focus on this event when ideally our hope was we just, people know how good this is. We market it pretty well.
Yeah.
And then people just buy tickets and I wouldn't have to stress out the last week to get everyone there.
but there's something wrong where there's just something that we're not communicating well about the price or the value or whatever it is. So it's like it's just one of those things. I'm like, man, I don't know that I want to take my energy to figure that out. Like
Yeah.
we're not an event planning company.
Yeah.
I
We're not
would-
blaming
I would-
you guys, by the way. Again,
No,
I would,
that's
yeah.
not the point. The point is like we're not like we don't have nobody to blame but ourselves.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, the message wasn't there. We screwed up somewhere. We need to, like you said, it's not our job. So trying to figure that out. Do we have the bandwidth to want to learn that, to want to try and strategize this again? Or I think we've made our mark pretty damn well and it's time for the next chapter. And we just we focus on what we're good at, which is taxes, bookkeeping, working with real estate agents, doing classes, spreading the word, spreading the good word of the book.
spreading the good book.
Yep. The financial blueprint and it's just helping real estate agents and running
Yeah.
the business.
Yeah, man, I'm leaning more and more that way.
I am too after this podcast. After reliving the stress of it, I was like,
The results were great.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very proud of the results.
Yeah.
That is without question. There's just so much that we missed that I would like to have done better. Like we were talking about, all the different just stresses on the company, the lack of sales. I mean, so all right, other side, right? This month in December, we'll probably, because our focus was so derailed, we will probably lose $10,000 to $15,000 this month, like being the loss for the month. So it's not crazy, but it's like, that's the impact of not having the engine just keeping on moving.
And we still gave Christmas bonuses.
That's part of it. They deserved every bit of it.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't wait to do more.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've had these. Let's are you going to transition a little bit, because I want to talk about the Christmas bonuses for a second, because I've been asking a lot of people about this. In fact, I had a chance to go have dinner with a couple of my girlfriend's friends, and I said, "Hey, can I ask you like a really personal question?" And I'm like, do you get a Christmas bonus? How much is it? Are you happy with it? You know, because at some point we will be at the point in our company where we can give what I really would like to give. I would like to be as generous as we possibly can. And also we have to be very reasonable this time, because there was so much happening in the business. It's requiring so much cash flow that it's a weird conundrum. I just... Man, my heart is just my heart is just to bless them. They were all more than what we did. Well, I should say that almost all of them, except for a couple of people I talked to said they've never gotten anything, and they would be glad for anything.
Fuck, do those people who got more than what we gave away?
Yeah,
are they
but they're
working
also
at like a private.
They're also
firm?
much bigger companies.
Yeah, they're
much bigger companies.
Okay,
I mean,
so,
you're talking about multi-million-dollar companies.
Yeah, but imagine us giving away the bonuses that we just gave away. If we had like 70 employees, that's a fuck ton of. That's a lot of money that compared to what we can do right now. Because my sister works at Legacy Hospital, you know, and she's like, we're a nonprofit or a for-profit, but like, you know, like a hospital or whatever. So we got nothing. And then her boyfriend works at the TSA or whatever, over at the airport and stuff. And he's like, yeah, we don't get shit. I'd be happy with the $25 gift card. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah.
Some people don't get anything.
And I was working at at a warehouse, you know, and we were happy with a $50 gift card and pizza day. And we got to take home ham.
I know.
So it's like,
well, first of all, that's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, because we're a food distribution company. They had extra ham.
They're like, hey, so these things got a little unrefrigerated.
Yeah, take them home.
Will you please take them home and sign this waiver?
Yeah. So we're like, thanks. Worth it. But yeah, no, we had oh man, actually,
I struggle with this because this year was very different than other years in that almost all of our employees, I think, were like really grateful and like made it a point to mention that, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I just always fear like it's not enough. It's just the weirdest thing. I don't know why. There's something weird that I've got in my like soul that I can't.
We could do more. Just don't get mad when we're in the negative again.
Yeah, exactly. And I just can't. I just want to be. What I'd rather have is a really productive company where we can continue to increase wages every single year, get raises every single year, and cost of living adjustments every single year, and give people promotions and big chunks and things like that. I'd rather have a company that's stable than gives out a big bonus. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully we'll be able to do both at some point soon.
We can talk about the next podcast, though.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, because I see so many troubles with that. I'm telling you, when we get to 100 employees and like that, giving those certain bonuses. I mean, how much stuff are we doing now that we didn't want to do because we got bigger?
How much stuff are we doing now that we didn't want to do because we got bigger? Like, I have no idea. What would be an example?
For an example, like we're like, all right, we're going to let everyone kind of do their own thing. We just trust them. But then we're like, okay, well, they're abusing their time. So now we got to micromanage a little bit. Okay, well, now people are on like certain strikes. Yeah. How many chances do we give them? We weren't going to give them chances originally.
In an ideal scenario, everything we do is something that we have to do that I don't want to do.
Yeah, but
ideally, saying, like, everybody runs their own.
Yeah, but you can.
Perfectly with no input.
We're starting to see why corporations get more and more like away from the family aspect of things, because the more people you manage, the more, not strict, but the more rules you need to have and the more procedures you got to have, and it's just eventually we're going to get to that point where. We're going to have to just continue to have more rules, more regulations and stuff. And I agree, we're not going to be those CEOs who are, taking everything and giving our employees nothing or whatever. But,
fuck that.
But at the same time, it's like, it's going to be different challenges ahead. Like, it'd be great to give everyone $100,000 Christmas bonuses, but
Yeah,
you
I
know.
would like that too.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're handing
That's
them
my
out, I'll
point, but
take
if
one.
we got like 100 employees, that's, we got to make sure it's fitting
Yeah.
for our profit. It's just a lot more money. So
Yeah, I get it. I mean, you give
Yeah.
everybody $1,000. There it is.
Yep.
It's $100,000 just like that.
yeah. So, but I think we talk about that another time
Yeah.
because we timed this out very poorly, seeing as how.
Yeah,
I
we're
got-
gonna have to run today. This one's gonna have to be over here pretty soon.
Yeah, but I guess today's main point was.
What's your time? Yeah, you gotta be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta. You're gonna go to a meeting right after this.
Yep. As soon as I hang up, as soon as I take these headphones off, I'm calling somebody and trying to sell them. So we'll see. Well, not trying to sell them. They're calling us. They want to have bookkeeping. I got to just learn about their ship
Okay.
and put everything in thing. But
I'm sure it's. Gonna
I mean,
be
that's
great.
part of the business, right? Sometimes you forget to tell your business partner you have a podcast from 12:30 to
Hypothetically.
1:30. Other
First of all,
times-
I didn't forget to tell you. I forgot to invite you to the calendar.
Yeah.
That I had told you.
So yeah, and then other times,
I will only take responsibility for the things I actually did wrong.
Well, my problem was I was like, all right, well, I got my kid this Friday, so we're not going to work like we normally do, but he doesn't start. Or I want to pick him up till 3 because school. So I told everyone to like load me up with whatever you can. So they filled my calendar like I asked, and then we just forgot about that. So we had a conflict. So we're keeping it short today, but we got to talk about the event.
That
How
was great.
stressful it fucking was.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to do it next year. We can dive
I
more
think we just
into-
do something different. I just don't think it's gonna be at that time and that way. I think it's just gonna have to be something different. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but we should do an episode on controversy because then we can talk about the controversy event we had or the presentation we had. So, and that's my cue off music, you guys. Thank you so much.
And now you know more about
The other side.